You hear me? So the show opens up. The show opens up with kind of confusing the first episode. The first half of the first episode was kind of confusing because for me, let me see if I can adjust this because I'm doing this with no light, with bad lighting. So hopefully this comes off a little decent. So the show opens up. It's two things going on. First episode. There's what's happening in space, and then there's what's happening on Earth. Now in space, they just coming back from a planet where they harvested or took some of the different local life forms from this planet. And of the life forms are the alien egg pods, if you're familiar with the Alien franchise, of the alien egg pod. The company that sent them is the company that's been sending them across all the Alien franchise, or most of the Alien franchise, especially the first Alien franchise. This company is sending these people to go steal, or to probably, I wasn't really paying attention to the whole thing, but to take some of the alien life form and see what they can do with it. These are trillionaire companies, and it's a few trillionaire companies, and of the trillionaire company, what's happening on Earth is there's this tech genius, young, brilliant tech guy that's doing robotics and androids and cybernetics and different things. He's working with these androids. His thing is he made his money from making these androids and stuff and this technology. Pretty much like, I guess he'd be who was that Facebook? Mark Zuckerberg, young guy, Elon Musk mixed in, kind of like that type of guy, like a genius, but he's young. He's like, if I had to put an age, I don't remember him saying his age, but he was the youngest trillionaire. He had just became a trillionaire, the young trillionaire on the planet at the time. I'm not sure where this is taking place, but I'm sure it's the most recent in the timeline of the franchise. Like, it's happening now in current time. Still way distant in the future, but anyways, so it's what's happened. That was kind of confusing in the first episode, because I'm thinking when they're on Earth and they're talking about turning people into android, what they're doing is they're taking the mind. He developed a technology to remove your mind from your body and put it in this android body, and because people were originally just enhancing their body with cybernetics. They were becoming cyborg. Cyborgs are essentially, you get your arm cut off, so they put a new prosthetic that works with your brain and everything, and it has cybernetics with your body, pretty much like how we are with these cell phones. You know what I'm saying? And people walking around with earpieces in, but not really implanted in your body. But I guess somebody like a pacemaker or an insulin pump or I guess a penile implant, or which is something I just heard. I got to make a video about that. I just heard about that, but that's something else. But I guess these will make you cyborg, like a cyborg. So and I think his company led in that, and that's how he became so rich and famous. But that's what's taking place on Earth, and it's keep flashing to what's taking place in space, them coming back from this planet. I kept getting confused because I thought that was the past and the future, because they almost had a one-to-one uh, uh, kind of similarity to the kids and their different races and the people on this spaceship and their different races. So it's almost like a almost very I don't think that was intentionally done, but it was kind of like badly done in my opinion, because it was a very similar number of kids. No one's sitting there counting each one of the kids and each one of the people in space, but I thought it was past and present going on, but it wasn't. What was going on was, I later found out the tech genius boy he's like Peter Pan in his brain. He's like Peter Pan, and these kids are like his lost children. These kids are all suffering from some. They're all suffering from. They're all suffering from some type of thing that's going to kill them. They're near death. They're around about, the kids' ages are around about 10, around that age. They're about 8 to 10-year-old, like that age group, and they all got like terminal cancer. Everything they got is terminal. They about to die any month, any week, any day now. They about to die. So he gets one of the kids who he called Mary. What's her name? Mary or whatever the little girl name on Peter Pan and the Lost Boys. The girl he named, that was his favorite one. That was the first one he turned, and she agreed like she can agree, but they're telling all the parents of the children that the kids have died, which they technically did die, because it's no way possible. I don't care how great technology becomes, you cannot take somebody's brain and map out the brain, and then that person is now a living robot who will never age, never die. And that's another thing they did. They didn't do the same age. The age of the robot body is like mid-early 20s. They made them all mid-early 20-year-olds. You know, but they're still childlike in the mind. But anyways, back to my personal theory about if this technology ever came around. No, they're not gonna just take your brain and then put it in a computer. That's not possible. I don't have to be a genius to know what they did. What they are going to do, or what they're doing, is they're gonna use AI technology, and they're gonna map your brain. And yes, that will be a clone, twin-like version of you that's gonna talk, sound, think, make decisions you're gonna make. But is that you? No. That's not you. That's just a scanned version of you that somebody will interact with and think that's my loved one. That's not your loved one. Similar to side note, like I'm a huge Star Trek fan, and you know they got the teleportation. They're gonna teleport. What they do is the computer scans you, store you in the buffer, and then send that information where they're gonna then reassemble you, protein molecule particle at a time. What it's doing is killing you. It's scanning you, same thing with, and just remaking another version of you. But if they scan and then teleported me to wherever you watching this at, right next to you, that's not me. That thing is going to talk and have my memories and interact the way I would interact. But this version of me was deleted. It was scanned. The original copy is deleted, and then the new copy is sent to where you are and printed back out, 3D printed instantaneously. Hold on 1 second. So, anyways, he's doing this with the kids. He's not telling the kids what's actually happening. He's telling, hey, you want to be, I can make you better, make you whole, make you, you know what I'm saying, healthy again. I'm going to, you know, put you in this android body. Which an android is just a robot that looks and very humanistic, humanoid, and it has their it looks very similar to them young. So whatever actors they use they cast that very well because they use some technology to make it look like the younger version of them, whoever these older actors are playing the robots. So they do Wendy. That was her name, Wendy. They do Wendy first. That's the one he most likes and loves. Then they go do the other lost boy, the other children who was dying, and the android is 100 times stronger than the average human, faster. What you would think, $6 Million Man type, Vicky the robot, any type of robot would have. But in their mind, they still think that they're the actual kids. He renames them, give them all new names, even though they have the memories that were scanned in from the previous them. What they didn't know is, what they later found out is, they buried the body somewhere on the property. He has his own little island. He's a trillion. He got his own, their own little island somewhere. But while this is taking place, they're transferring the bodies in space. They're taking all chaos is happening. Everything, the alien broke out the eggs, which brings me to another issue, because I don't know how they took the eggs off the planet, put it on the ship, because soon as a life form get near the egg, that's when the spider face-sucking creature that impregnates you, that's when it jumps out the egg whenever somebody gets near it. So I don't know how they was able to harvest that. But here's the thing. This is what makes the series so amazing. They found other creatures. It ain't just the xenomorphs. It ain't just the little spider egg thing that's all related to that one species that goes through a different evolution. It's first is the egg, then the hand face thing jump out, impregnate you, then the xenomorph come out, and I guess one of the xenomorphs eventually becomes the queen who lays these eggs. The cycle continues. But so they got like 3 eggs, and then they got this other creature. They got this other creature that's an eyeball. It's like a spider thing, but it has an eyeball on the top of it. And this eyeball, what it does is it can jump into your body and it replace your eyeball. It's killing you simultaneously. And then I guess its tentacles go into the brain, and then the thing can control you, talk as you. I mean, it's not the person's. Something wrong because this person, the eyeball is huge. The eyeball is like my hand, and it's just moving around. And then all this is cracked open and spider veins all over, and it's like, hey, I'm talking to you now, and I got this thing. You like, hey man, what's wrong with you? You cool? Yeah, I'm okay, whatever. And then, so this creature is very intelligent. Then they had a couple of other little creatures that I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. They had another creature that was like a fly. They call it the fly. It actually looked like a giant fly the size of a book bag. And this fly would throw up on whatever metal. It eats metal. Wherever they got this thing from, it wasn't a lot of organic material on the planet they got it from. So this species had evolved breaking down minerals. So it had acid or whatever in its mouth, in its glands. The glands would swell up, it'd throw up and spew acid, dissolve it. So it dissolves everything outside the body, and then it licks it up, it eats it up. So they got that. They got that, and they got a few other ones, but they're not really that important. But all hell is breaking loose in space. So much hell is breaking loose in space. Now, the crew in space, like I said, I thought the crew was these kids just grown up as an adult, but turn to find out that's not even related. The ship was supposed to, they had a saboteur on the ship, and the ship had ended up going off course. So the ship, the xenomorph get out, the process of the xenomorph busting through the skin, killing everything, and then the eyeball thing, come to find out, look like the xenomorph was scared to death of this eyeball thing because it saw it and was trying to get away from it, but it ended up getting into the xenomorph. And then it's controlling the xenomorph while in space. It's all episode 1. Every episode is packed. 10 episodes. All episodes is packed with action, high level activity. They getting active on this show every episode. I love it. I get this show at least an 8. At least an 8. Because it had a few things that I didn't really like. I'm just gonna talk a little bit about episode 1 and jump around a little bit. But the ship ended up crashing on the planet. But the young Peter Pan, fake Peter Pan guy who was supposed to be the new youngest trillionaire, he somehow knew that the other rival company had sent that ship to go get. He didn't know what was on the ship. He just wanted the ship and whatever was on it, so he can keep leading in all the technology and leveling up his company to the next level. So he found a way to get the guy to crash his secret operative on the ship, to crash the ship into one of his buildings in his town kind of thing that he owned. And he was able to go and send out his robots and other mercenary people that work for him and go retrieve all the specimens and different things from off the ship. And then that's when it all goes crazy. It just insanity happens. He gets the aliens, put them all in little pods and stuff, and of course somebody on the ship was pregnant with the alien thing. So they studying him, they studying everything. They looking under microscopes and trying to see how they can backward engineer everything. You know, he's doing the whole genius stuff that we would do if we found some alien stuff. So they get as the androids are progressing and learning, the cyborg that was on the ship, who was the saboteur, is going around. No, he wasn't the saboteur. He wasn't the saboteur. He wasn't the saboteur. He was sent by the company to make sure. He was like the head security guy. And but so much years have passed, and like 50, 60 years have passed since he'd been back to the planet. And he was able to take some type of chip and place it on one of the kids. As soon as he saw the kids, he knew that they were androids. He knew that they wasn't human beings. But us watching it, they just like, or people in the show, no one can really tell if they was human or not because they look so lifelike. But he knew, and they acted normal. They acted like little kids. So, and he realized, he's real smart. He realized right away that these are kids. He put the brain of kids in these robots. So he put a little chip that went through the skin and so he can communicate with one of the kids. And one of them was like an Indian kid. He was able to communicate with them, but they're all kid-like. So he's scaring them and talking to them like, you know, be my friend, and all the little child predator type antics was going on where he's getting this kid to be on his side so that he can retrieve the stuff that the Peter Pan tech billionaire guy stole. He trying to get it back, take everything back to the person who originally was supposed to have it. He trying to get, you know, the stuff where it's supposed to go. But as it's going on, you kind of see that the Peter Pan guy he kind of off, like most genius types. He's kind of a little different. He's off. So he and like for example, at night when the kids are recharging in they little charging pods, they don't sleep, but because they're androids, they're in a charging pod. He's reading the story of Peter Pan to him. Little excerpt from the book. He's reading it to him as if, I mean, they're robots. They should already have the story. But anyways, the show is great. The show is great. I just finished it. The last episode. I ain't gonna tell you every blow by blow, but it's one of those shows that when you watch, you lucky that you happy that you waited till the whole season was out so you can just get it. What I didn't like about the ending. Let me tell you what I didn't like about the ending. The ending ended like this is how Terminator started. You know, because the little girl Wendy, when she started realizing that the tech being there, something wasn't right about him, and she had to take things in her own hands, she started learning the language of the xenomorph. She started clicking and talking the way they talk. She started learning how to talk to him, so it became like her dog in a way. She could sick it on people. She was sending that thing when she helped it break out. She was sending that thing everywhere and having it react and really wreak havoc. So as the show going off, and she caught all the humans and his androids and put them in a cage. The tech billionaire, he's smiling because he's out of his mind. He asked, "So what are you finna do now?" And he's like, it goes off with her saying something to the effect like, "I'm about to take everything over." And he smiled like, "Yeah, I like to hear that." Like she about to cause she had all her android brothers and sisters, and then she had the xenomorphs, because it was another little baby xenomorph. She had the xenomorph. Now the eye creature just running around. They got other little creatures running around. They got that. So I guess season 2 just gonna be total chaos. Gotta see what season 2 about to talk about. But yeah, this movie was just action packed. Not a real dull moment. Not too much slice of life, and not heavy on the character builder. Hold on one second. Let me let that pass. Not heavy on the character building too much. I mean, they did the show as if you was intelligent enough to understand what's really going on. But yeah, there was great parts of the show. Let me think. What else? I have none of this written down. Yeah. Oh yeah. I want to say this. The Android kid thing was supposed to be his new development to get rid of sickness and to get rid of everything. He was rolling them out like he said they was gonna be the floor model. So if you want to live permanently for the rest of your life and indefinitely, you can have your brain, thoughts, and stuff transferred over to a robot body that'll never age, never get sick. You'll live for the rest of your life. But like I told you earlier, my theory is that's not a possibility. What he's doing is just everybody who would interact with you would just think that's you, because it's a one-to-one copy of your brain and your thoughts. However they do it, they're gonna scan everything and the way your brain and stuff is lined up, and sample your voice, AI your voice to a robot, and maybe even watch videos of your patterns of your movement, how you would move, little ticks and stuff that you would do, because we all online posting our pictures and videos, and so it got your body movements. It knows how you would respond to stuff and how you would stand, how you would take pictures. So that's gonna look like uncle or grandma or whatever. And they're gonna act and have they know all the passwords because they got the brain scanned into this robot. So his thing is to sell this idea. But I guess, I don't know, so the world is about to end or something. I don't know what's gonna go on season 2. But this last season, this first season, man, I liked it. If you're a fan of aliens, this took it to the next level, because we never had aliens on Earth. You know what I'm saying? They never made it to the planet. They was always on a ship that ends up blowing up or stopping. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. That's just, which it ain't that hard to kill the aliens. So I don't know how it's gonna take over. But if the aliens like think about the Terminator. If the robot that just evil robot that just want to take over the planet, and they got alien with acid blood as its dog. I mean, what you gonna do with that? If it's like the Terminator movie, especially if she got the brain power and know-how to make more androids that she can control, because she got all the codes in her head to stop the first android that was made. This first man, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I can't wait for season 2. So yeah, I definitely give it an 8, solid 8. Maybe even a 10. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely something you want to pay attention to and not just let play in the background. Because that's how I was really watching a few of the episodes. One of them where you try to be on your phone, trying to multitask, and you got to say, wait, what? Give me the remote control. Let me rewind that. What just happened? It's one of those shows like that. You know what I'm saying? But we all multitaskers in life, and you know we got to do multiple things. You know, in a time allotted to us outside of work. You know what I'm saying? Or being with our family. You know what I'm saying? You got to try to multitask everything else. You know. But yeah, you guys check that out. Get in the comments. Let me know if you liked it. If you didn't like it, what did they do wrong? What did they do right? You know. I'm trying to think of other stuff, but everything just. Oh, this is something else I didn't like. This is why I took 2 points from it. The eyeball creature that take control of your body. There was a guy earlier that a xenomorph jumped out of his stomach. He's on the beach and he's dead. He's been dead for, I think maybe in the timeline of the show, maybe about a day or two. So he dead. The eyeball creature crawls into his body and he sits up. I guess letting us know that the eyeball creature is in play. I didn't like that because the eyeball creatures and the xenomorphs never attacked the synthetic life. It never attacked the androids. So if you're, I guess they're gonna say because it's organic material, he could get into it. But when he jumped out of the goat, he was originally in a goat. They put his body in a goat, put him in a goat. When he originally did that, the goat died when he jumped out to the goat eye. Why didn't he just jump back into the goat body again? I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. I don't think unless it can self-reproduce like similar to it probably could, but I don't know. Unless it can self-replicate itself, self-reproduce, and I don't know. I guess that's gonna be the only one thing curveball that's gonna be. Maybe it would join sides with the humans, right? What if it joined side with the humans? Because the alien was not rocking with that eyeball. It's like it knew exactly what that was. And when he seen him in the first guy jumped into when in the earlier episodes in the ship, when it flashed back to that scene, as soon as the alien got into the hallway and the thing jumped into his eye, and the guy turned around real quick to the alien and grabbed the alien. Alien acted like a dog that ain't never took a bath that you trying to put in a bathtub. He was trying to get up out of there. He was trying to get away from this thing. You hear me? So we have to see. But it's getting too dark. It's getting too dark right now where I'm at. I'm gonna sign off. All right. Like, share, and subscribe. You hear me?